What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan. I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. Happy New Year, everyone. It is January 1st. This is when we're doing this video. This is our deck excitement list. We said we were going to do it, like a week or 10 days before the release of EX8, which is January 10th. So I thought, Happy New Year's. Let's do that deck excitement list. Let's get excited for 2025 of the Digimon TCG. And let's talk about the decks that we're excited for in January. This stuff is going to be, I think, legal for most of the nationals. I mean, obviously, maybe not the first one, because I think the first one's happening between the 4th and the 6th, I believe, is the North American one. So unfortunately, it won't be legal for North American nats. Gammon, X-Antibody can't just wreck everyone's day. But we are having some great EX8 discussions. We've been having some really cool stuff, and we want to talk about our deck excitement list. As always, this is our not so tier list, because I don't do a tier list. This is what I'm more excited about playing and why, and kind of which decks I am and haven't really been looking into. But hey, if you enjoyed this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of fun. And let's make 2025 an even better year than we did last year. We've seen amazing channel growth, way more subscribers, up over 330 subscribers now. So thank you guys for your support. And let's get into this deck excitement list. Okay, so as always, you know the drill. It's like a tier list, but it's not. This is my S. That's my super excited. Really excited, these are the ones I definitely want to play. These are the ones I really want to, test more to see if I'm going to, like them. These are the ones that I'm kind of like, I could build it or I could not build it. This is what I'm not interested in really. And this is the, the dog shit, the bad stuff that I just don't have any interest in it. And sorry, if I say dog crap, it's not because I think the deck is, I just have no interest in it really. Absolutely like reverse interest, like Eosmon. I've never really had any interest in playing Eosmon. So with that being said, let's get into it. We have a lot of decks to talk about here. There's like 11, I think. We're going to start out with the Scaton. Scaton's an interesting deck here. It's new stuff for the Ice Snow variant. I really haven't been paying a lot of attention to what Scaton does. I don't even think I paid too much attention in the Liberator novel. The Ice Snow stuff is a little bit interesting to me, especially with the Hexablow stuff. It is support for the Hexablow stuff. But right now I'm going to be putting the Scaton right here just because I don't think that I'm super interested in it. Like either way, like I do like Hexablow. I do like the Ice Snow variant, and this adds to that. So it's kind of, it may not necessarily be part of the same deck, but like later on you could be running this and Hexablow and a whole bunch of other stuff as they increase that Ice Snow, because Hexablow has the Ice Snow trait. So it is a really cool kind of blue variant. It's kind of taking on a little bit of a different role in the blue archetype, and I am definitely interested in it somewhat, but not enough that I think I'm going to build it right now. We have, as well as we have the Aegis support for the Deep Savers. I am not really interested at all in the Deep Saver stuff. I just don't think it really, it really hits that button for me that makes it so that I really, really want to play that. I think it is cool, the DNA Digivolving aspect of, you got like Metal Digimon Ace, you got Plesiomon, you got other cards you can potentially use in that deck for the DNA Digivolve for Aegis. So I do think that is very cool, but it's just not something I'm interested in right now. Next we have Dinomon. This is the Tyrannomon deck, Ryotaro Williams. I am actually super excited for this. I don't think it's going to be really, really competitive, but I really just like the fact that we're getting more Tyrannomon support and honestly more of a defined Tyrannomon deck. Do I agree with the play cell? I think it's very aggro. It's using the suspending abilities of green with the aggroness of red. So I do kind of like that, but that is always a dangerous thing because sometimes relying for your opponent to put Digimon on the field can be very bad for you in this game. So it's something that's really been a problem for green. So I really think they need to think about this a little bit harder as they create more Dinomon or more Tyrannomon support, but I like a lot of these cards. I think they're in a good direction. I like that this can be either my red deck or my green deck, which is kind of cool because it's probably going to be my green deck, and we'll tell you that later. So we're definitely thinking about building this. But yeah, Tyrannomon looks really cool, and I'm excited for it. I just love how Agumon is like the level 3. There's no like other dinosaur level 3 for Tyrannomon. It's like, oh, when a Tyrannomon gets angry, it turns into, or when an Agumon gets fat and or angry or just wants to like kill things, it turns into a Tyrannomon instead of a Greymon. But yeah, so that's kind of cool, and there's a lot of cool cards in the deck, so I'm excited for that. We also have here, we have the Sakuyamon X-Antibody support, which I'm really excited for. I love Sakuyamon. I've wanted this deck to be more meta. Not necessarily it has to be like super good, but just more competitive in the meta for a long time. And I think the X-Antibody support is going to give it a real chance to stand on its own legs. I also think Talmon Loop's going to come and basically be the brokenest thing ever, which is not going to require you to run a lot of the actual stuff in this deck. So this X-Antibody OTK deck that people are talking about is actually going to be like pure Sakuyamon at its best. So I definitely want a chance to play this before, you know, Talmon Loop becomes a thing, and then people are just like, well, we're just playing this like completely like offshoot deck of Sakuyamon. So I'm really excited, and this is definitely going to be my yellow deck for the format. We also have the Nature Spirits. Hercules Kabuterimon gets a Nature Spirit variant. It's not necessarily a, I think it's an ace. Yeah, I think it's an ace. Can't remember. I'm not really interested. I'm not really interested in the Nature Spirit stuff. It doesn't really work well, I don't feel, with a lot of the other Tentomon, Mega Kabuterimon support, and it's a lot of the same stuff. Like the Mega Kabuterimon in this set is literally the same as the starter deck one. Gives you the same inheritable, and honestly, it's on when Digivolving or whatever's effect doesn't add much to any of the cards we have, so I'm not really impressed with that. So I would say right now I'm not super interested in that at all. I might even be willing to put it down here as like, no, I don't. Actually, you know what? I think I'm more interested in Aegis-Dramon. This is definitely something I'm just anti-interested in right now, unfortunately. Peridimon. Oh, I am so interested in the rock mineral thing. The whole trashing your stuff and getting abilities for it. And then potentially also if your opponent plays a blue deck and they trash your stuff, you gain memory. That's such a punishment. Especially like if your opponent goes, you know, Pyildramon and gains 2 memory and then trashes your guys, and then you gain 2 memory back and your opponent's like, I can't maintain turn. And you're just like, It's so good. It's so good. So I mean, I do appreciate that it's got a really cool ability to just be able to like trash its Digivolution cards and then gain them back. It's really cool. Fragment is an awesome keyword. I'm excited for Fragment. I'm excited for all the other things the deck does, and just the fact that it really grows the black archetype a lot, honestly. You get your reboot, your blocker, collision, all your things that you'd expect a black deck to have, but Fragment just adds a whole new level to the black archetype, which I feel is an archetype that oftentimes is missing stuff, just like green. And sometimes it just doesn't get enough support. So I'm super excited for the rock mineral for Peridimon. So that is on the top of my list. We have Justimon here. Justimon, I would say I would like to build Justimon. I'm definitely interested in it. Maybe not to the point where it's going to, I'm not, if I'm building a black deck, it's probably going to be Peridimon. But if I decide, that I don't want to play Peridimon anymore, I might put together Justimon, although there's more stuff coming in 2.5, so I might wait until then, but I am interested in Justimon. I've always wanted this deck to have more support because I thought it's one of the Season 3 Digimon Tamers decks that I just felt like wasn't as good or never got as enough support. So I'm excited for Justimon to get more support, and I think it's going to be a sweet deck, especially with all the new devices. Sakuyamon's the plug-in deck. This is the devices deck. It has all like the rook, all the themed ones in the chess pieces, rook, bishop, king, queen. That's really cool, and we're getting a lot more. We got a couple of promos. We're getting more in this set. Might be getting more in the next set. So I'm excited for all the device cards. So that'd be really cool. So I definitely think Justimon's kind of up there, but just not on the top of the list. Barbamon. I'm usually a 7 Demons fan, but I'd say I haven't really looked into Barbamon enough. I do love 7 Demon Lord stuff, and I'm glad that Barbamon's getting more support. I mean, we only have 2 versions of him, although we only had 2 versions of Leviamon when Leviamon took the format and the meta by storm. So we have now his first version, and we have his X-Antibody form. So I would say I'm excited for Barbamon X-Antibody, but just not thinking it's going to be the one I build. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't really have a purple deck that I'm feeling for this format, but I don't always do a full set of decks for EX sets, especially when the new set's going to be like a month away, and then I'm going to have to redo all my decks for 2.5, which has a lot of stuff in it. And right now we've already covered potentially green, yellow, and black. So I'm not 100% sure here. You know, maybe if I want to do a purple deck, I decide to do Barbamon X-Antibody. But right now I'm just kind of in that place where I'm like, it's something I'm interested in, but I'm not I don't have to do it. I would actually say I'm more interested in Nightmare Soldiers. I think Nightmare Soldiers is a cool thing. I like the look of some of their effects. I like Devimon stuff and Myotismon support. I've always wanted to build like a Devimon deck with Devimon as your level 3s, or a Myotismon deck. So I think that just the fact that some of those cards come into play and can be really good in this Nightmare Soldiers variant with Boutmon and Piedmon. I really like Piedmon. I honestly wanted to play Piedmon back in the day in like BT2 when he was OP. So I do kind of like the fact we're getting new Piedmon support. Like we already have 2 aces for the Dark Masters. We don't have Machine Dramon yet, unfortunately, and we don't have Piedmon, but we have the other 2, Puppetmon. We don't have Puppetmon, but we have Piedmon now, and we're getting Dramon in this set. So it's kind of cool that we're getting new ace support for Dark Masters, and Boutmon, he's kind of like a pirate, is a cool kind of level 7 that I think is an interesting card. So I'm interested in this. I'm definitely interested in the Nightmare Soldiers. Again, maybe not to the top of my list, but I might be more looking to like put something like this together rather than a Barbamon deck, but we'll really see as things go on, as I read the cards and learn a little bit more about them. Okay, do I even have to say that I'm excited for Gallantmon X-Antibody like so much? Just like Magnamon X-Antibody, this card is so good, and it's making the deck really good. We're still waiting for a little bit of support in 2.5, but the deck's going to be really, really good, and it's going to probably be top tier meta. I'm thinking, based on the Japanese, what's happening with it in the Japanese meta. So we'll see, but Gallantmon finally gets its day, and I'm not building it because it's meta. I've always just wanted to have a really good, consistent Gallantmon deck that I can play in the format. In a lot of other formats, it was hard to play, and there was better, more consistent red decks. And like I said, I like my decks that I build, and I do profiles for you guys on the channel to have some value in the fact that they at least can put up a decent fight against a lot of the decks in the meta. They don't have to be top tier. They can be tier 2, maybe tier 1.5, but I definitely don't want to play a tier 3 deck against the meta, because then you don't have any fun. Unless your opponent's going to go ahead and play a fun deck, then you can play a bunch of tier 3 decks, tier 2.5 decks, but generally I don't play anything less than tier 1.5, high tier 2 kind of thing like that, because if then you're just going to play against meta decks and you're just going to get thrashed all day long, and the game's not going to be fun. And that's something I try to avoid doing, which is why my deck profiles always try to, reverberate and get around that whole, we're not always playing meta. Sometimes we're playing meta, but we're always playing a deck that can fight decently. And now that Gallantmon is up there, I'm really excited because I love Gallantmon. One of my favorite Royal Knights, and just the X-Antibody cards look so great. And honestly, it's like, okay, well, this is what we wanted in BT9 when we got X-Antibody, and we're like, oh, sweet, Agumon got all this great support, and Growlmon, Guilmon, War Growlmon, Gallantmon, yeah, they kind of crap. And now they're just like, and it's always kind of been that way, that the purple red Guilmon stuff just seemed so much better. Like the fact that the War Growlmon from EX3 is still one of the best War Growlmons in the deck, and it's been that way for probably a year to a year and a half since someone realized, why am I playing the red stuff? Just goes to show you that the purple red stuff is really cool. Just kind of like how the X-Antibody stuff for purple blue X-Antibody stuff for Gabumon and Metal Garurumon was super, super good. So, I mean, just those dual color cards, they're always just give you so much more, it seems like. So I'm definitely, this is my red deck. this is the deck we're going to be loving for this format. These three decks I'm really excited for. These three, definitely Sakuyamon and Gallantmon and Peridimon has just been so interesting to me. We'll finish it off. We have one more. We have Medieval Gallantmon. We could put back together our Zephagamon deck with Medieval Gallantmon. We could play some more Vortex Warriors. That's something I'm interested in because I do like green. I do like Vortex Warriors, and I just didn't think it got enough support or enough good support, I think, in EX7 because it relies too heavily on your opponent putting things on the board, which unfortunately I feel is the draw of a lot of green decks. And I definitely think that Medieval Gallantmon gives it a lot more power and a lot more options. So I'm excited for the changes we might see in Vortex Warriors. And so we're putting that with something I'm more likely to build than not. But tell me what you guys think, guys. I like how it kind of creates a perfect pyramid there. A lot of stuff we're excited in. Not too much we're not excited for, but hopefully maybe one day Nature Spirits and Deep Savers can, put something out there that really kind of speaks to me. But this is kind of how we're feeling about EX8. This is our deck excitement list, our not so tier list. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment. We always love to hear your opinions about this, and we always have a fun time with these deck excitement lists. EX8 is 9 days away. Can you feel it, guys? Can you feel the excitement for 2025 in the Digimon TCG? I know I can, and I'm hoping it's going to be a good year now that this simultaneous release transition is almost up. I'm hoping we're going to have a really great year, but we'll see how things go, and we'll start to see some more announcements from the Digimon site and decide if Bandai is going to be treating us good this year or not. I hope they will be. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day. And that is all for now, folks.